Happy Friday. Hello. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful evening. I wanted to come on. So I know I've been posting and talking about my workshop and just, why this girl always talking about self-care all the time? Well, it is at the core of my mission to support as many people and women as possible in having a daily practice of self-care. So I wanted to come on and share some benefits of self-care, but before I talk about that, I just wanted to kind of share like why do I talk about this? I was inspired by many of the mentors that I have in my life, and one specific mentor, her name is Debrina Jackson Gandy. I've learned so much from her just about having a self-care practice and just and not just learning it, but actually having the opportunity to implement these practices in my life and to see how it works in my life. And then just feeling the responsibility to then share that, because it's so important that women and men and everybody needs to have a self-care practice. And I don't mean just, going to exercise or eat healthy and stuff. Like, that's important as well, but it's important that you also take time to like kind of fill your cup back up, because a lot of times we in society, like, and as women, like, we're givers and we're doers, and it's about like kind of like putting it out there. And like, even if you're doing the most amazing thing that you care about, sometimes we still, like, we don't take time to like restore that thing that we're putting out there. And so it's important that we have something that we do on a daily basis to restore our energy so that we can come from a state of fullness, and really be able to give from a state of fullness. Because if you continue to give and do and put out, and you're not pouring back into yourself, then your cup is going to be depleted and empty. And then, unfortunately, that follows like sickness and, or frustration and anger and just, physical reactions to your body when you don't take time to like really take care of yourself. And sometimes we're forced to sit down. You might look up one day like, why do I have this headache? Or why am I sick all of a sudden? Or I can't get out of bed, or whatever it is. It's because it's a result of not taking care of yourself ahead of time. And so that thing kind of lines up, and sometimes we're forced to just be still. So anyway, I wanted to just share that I've been inspired because studying under my mentor, I've often been like the youngest person, a part of the class or the course, and I was just like, wow, this stuff is good. Being able to have a self-care practice and really implement that in my life and just see how it works. And so I wanted to share a few benefits. There's so many benefits to it, but I wanted to share a few of them with you. And so one of the benefits of having a self-care practice is that it allows you to restore and renew your energy. Just like I was just saying, like, we have to be able to renew ourselves. We have to be able to restore who we truly are, because we can get thrown off, like distracted, and like things happen in life. So how do we restore and renew our energy so that we can be ready for that? And that includes like doing something for yourself and your spirit on a daily basis. I mean, it could be something as simple as your prayer time in the morning, as simple as, writing down what you're grateful for, saying what you're grateful for, saying positive affirmations to yourself in the mirror, those type of things that really fill your energy back up and remind you of the truth of who you are. So that's one benefit. Another benefit, and I'm looking over at my little card because I wrote down some of the benefits, is it allows you to keep your light lit. So, the inner light that you are, like when you look at me and you see a glow, you see a light. That's who I am. That's the spirit of me. And that's from renewing and recharging my energy and myself for my self-care practice. That's why I'm able to stay positive most of the time. I'm human and life happens and sometimes I get thrown off, but having a self-care practice allows me to come back to myself quicker. I want to share a story, an example on how I've done that and how amazing it was one time. So I had went to the movies one day, and then I came back to my car, and it was parked in a garage. And I had a great day and everything like that. Didn't think anything would be wrong. And I came to my car, and somebody had backed into my car, and they, dented my car. And the garage owner had saw the incident, so he wrote down a note and left it on my car. And but he had left work. So anyway, I see this, right? My first initial reaction was, I was upset, but then I caught myself. Because when you have a daily practice of self-care and you're constantly feeding, renewing your energy and your spirit and reminding yourself of who you are, it won't allow you to be angry long. So I had my moment, but then I came back to who I really was, and I started affirming there's a blessing in this. 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 I just kept repeating that over and over. And I restored myself back to my true self. And I shifted my vibration. I shifted the way I looked at it. I shifted the whole thing, and and the funny thing is I was on my way to a conference the next day. I was getting ready to get on a plane and all of that. And this happened right before, and so with me shifting my vibration around and I let it go, I still went to the conference, had an amazing time. By the time I came back from the conference, and, of course we had to call insurance and all of that because it was on tape, it was on video, and they caught the guy and everything. By the time I came back, within a few days later, I had a check. I had a check written out to me for the little dent that happened, and I was able to, with that check, I was able to pay my rent for the next month and my car note. so I'm saying all this to say that, if I would have taken the time to stayed in a state of like anger around it or been frustrated the whole time, that vibration, I probably wouldn't have saw that check right away or because what we put out there comes back to us. And so, yeah, and like I said before, taking care of myself and my spirit, it just allows me to stay lit, like keep my glow and keep my natural state of who I truly am. And it's not in that vibration of being frustrated and angry all the time. And so I'm able to come back to myself quicker. Now I'm human, so I'm gonna get angry and all that. And there's a time for that, to express that. That's real. That's a part of being human. But it's also a lower vibration. And so I like, having a self-care practice brings me back to, my state of joy. And that was just one example, and one benefit, it keeps your light lit. And then, another benefit, and I'm gonna pause for a second. I see there's a few people watching, leave a comment, and let me know that you're on. If anything I'm saying is resonating with you, if it's inspiring you, let me know. So, another benefit to having a self-care practice is it allows you to deprogram and reprogram your mind and yourself. So when I say deprogram, so if you're constantly feeding your mindset, shifting your mindset, releasing some of the old thoughts or lies that you have been fed and been carrying on all these years, it allows you to release those things because you're telling yourself something new on a regular basis. You looking at yourself in the mirror every day saying, I love you and you are beautiful, or whatever it is that you do, whatever your practice would be. It's about a spiritual practice. It's about renewing who you are and reminding yourself of who you are, whether it be your prayer time or whether it be meditating or doing something to uplift your spirit positively. So that allows you to let go of those things that hold you back, those negative beliefs systems, and it allows you to deprogram those and reprogram the truth of who you are. and or the truth who you want to claim yourself to be, you know, when you speaking it into existence. So there are so many benefits to having a daily practice of self-care. And I say daily because sometimes, you know, it's easy for us to just go a whole day without really doing something for ourselves or really pouring back into our own cups. And it's just important that we do that so that we can not only survive, but so that we thrive. I mean, with anything that we do in life, so that you show up, you know, with energy, that you show up with high energy, positive energy, that you show up as your best self. You know, so yeah, I didn't want to, you know, make this video super long, but I definitely want to share some benefits. And of course, remind you that I have a self-care workshop coming up on February 10th. I'm so excited about it. So you're going to be hearing me talk about my self-care workshop until we get to that. And then I'm going to be talking about the next workshop, because that's what I've been called to do deep in my work into. I know some people don't know me as a facilitator yet, but I've been doing workshops and facilitation and curriculum since I was 15 years old. And so every single job I've had, I've always taught. That's been the core of my passion. I know that, you know, I'm known for doing hair. I'm known for creating jewelry. I'm known for my girls program, and all of those things are amazing. And I'm grateful that I have all these gifts and talents. But at the core of all of that is really holding space for women and girls to empower themselves, for self-empowerment and transformation, for folks to really practice self-care and self-love. That is really at the core of all of it. And so, anyway, I have a workshop coming up on February 10th called Self-Care is Not Optional. And we're going to be developing a daily practice of self-care together. So I have 5 steps on how to develop a daily practice of self-care. And I would love to support whoever is led to, you know, if this is something that's speaking to you and you would like to come and join the community, I would love for you to participate in my workshop. It is $21. And you can purchase your ticket at goddesscrowns.com. Once I complete this video, I'm going to add it underneath the description to make it accessible for you. But yeah, I would love for you to join me. It's important that we have a daily practice of self-care and that we do it in community and be held accountable for it as well. Like, we need to love ourselves. We need to say yes to ourselves. We need to restore and renew who we are on a daily basis. So, yeah. Well, I hope you guys have received some value from this video. And if you have, you know, feel free to leave a comment, a like button or anything like that. Or join me in my next workshop on February 10th. It is going to be at Resilient Wellness in West Oakland. And I'm super excited about it. And, you know, you will be hearing more about that. All right. Well, have a wonderful Friday. Peace, love, and light, everybody.